Leykis Show.
I'm having a hard time hearing him.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. I have discussed on this program in the past about how I had my fill of American women. Had my fill. Done. Because I find that women who grew up in this country, women who were born here, women who identify themselves as American, with the rare exception of women who grew up here but had mothers who grew up in other countries and they subscribe to the culture of the old country, whatever that old country might be. I find that women who identify as American are generally fat, mouthy broads who want men to give, spend, do half the housework, pay more than half of all the bills, and they can't be bothered to put a hot dog on a plate when we get home from work or pick up or fold a pair of socks. And I'm fed up. I know I'm not the only one, although clearly most American guys end up with American women. That's just the way it is. But there's an increasing number of guys like me who've said, forget about it. I'm looking elsewhere. And it makes American women really angry. Now, there's any number of ways of doing this. You can travel to other countries. That can be expensive. But you could certainly get on a plane, go to another country with a guide or with a guidebook, find out where people hang out, find out where they socialize, go in there as the foreigner, and try to pick up chicks that way. You can do that. Some guys get onto these websites, online dating websites, and they put in particular countries where they find the women attractive, where they think the women would be particularly promising in terms of getting married or whatever, and they start searching that way. Some guys find out where foreign chicks hang out in their town. Here in L.A. we've got, you name it, little Armenia, little Ethiopia, Koreatown, Chinatown. You've got Olvera Street. I mean, you got places where you know that people of a particular ethnicity or race will hang out. There are guys who'll go there. And most importantly, because I get so much mail about this, there are guys who have been essentially ordering mail-order brides. And lately, the number one country that these women seem to be coming from is Russia. Women want to get out of Russia in the worst way. And guys are paying money to meet Russian women who are flown over here. They send letters. They fly over to meet him or fly over to get them. Like they're going to the back door at IKEA to pick up a bookshelf. They fly over to Russia and pick up their mail-order brides or mail-order dates. and bring them over here. What do these guys have in common? Well, obviously, they're going that extra mile to avoid being with American women. They are fed up with the attitude of most American women. Russian brides are not the only mail-order brides. There are mail-order brides also from the Philippines. That seems to be the second most popular source of mail-order brides. The Philippines or Thailand. And I'm wondering, since we have so many guys listening, I'm wondering what efforts you've gone to find women from other countries. And did you do it consciously because you were fed up with American women? Did you do it because you wanted somebody who would live up to certain stereotypes? Massaging your feet and making you dinner or whatever? Obeying your every command? What was your motivation to go to all this trouble? You know what? It's not easy to do. I mean, the easiest thing to do is to do what most American guys do. You see some chick in the office and you hit on her. No matter what color she is, no matter where she's from. But if you're going to go out looking for women from other countries, it takes work. Especially if you don't live in a city like Los Angeles or New York or Chicago, where you have all kinds of races and ethnicities. You really have to work at this. And in some cases, you have to spend a certain amount of money to find women. Mail-order brides aren't called mail-order brides for nothing. These are women who get themselves listed, their pictures, frequently things like bikini shots and stuff, listed in these magazines or these books that guys buy. And then they pick up these chicks. And I know that this stuff drives American women nuts when they hear this. And I'm hoping it drives them nuts because I'm hoping it drives home the point that a lot of men are fed up with the attitudes of American women. So if you have gone to extraordinary Herculean efforts to find women of other cultures and other countries to bring them to you, or to fly to them and date them in their own country. You know, let's say you went to Match.com and you ended up flying to Peru, or you ended up flying to Czechoslovakia. Well, it's Czech Republic now. Imagine if you had done that. And do you have a long-distance relationship with somebody you met this way? Do you actually seriously think this relationship will last? Why are these women better than what you could have had or did have here at home in the United States? I want to know.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You there?
No, I left the room.
You left the room. Hey, where are you?
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. All right, how far have you gone to meet women from other countries? And why'd you do it? Bob, hello.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
All right, Bob.
First of all, let me give you a little bit of a background. I'm from Canada originally. And being from Canada, we are allowed to go to Cuba. And 2.5 years ago, I went to Cuba. It was the second time there, and I had found an agency that provides exactly what you're saying. And I met my wife through that agency. Set me back $2,500, but that also included my week.
What was your incentive for doing it?
You know what? I'm 38 years old. I've been married once before. And being 38 and dating mostly women, in their early 30s, they're all after the same thing. They're all after very, very materialistic things that the more things you have as a man, the more desirable they were to you, or for them, rather. And when I went down to Cuba the first time, I'd met a couple of different ladies there, and they were the most grateful, appreciative women in Cuba. Let me tell you, it's phenomenal. And I went back to Canada after this vacation, and I gave it some serious thought. And a buddy of mine tried to talk me out of it, and I said, "To hell with it, man! I'm going to do it."
Now, this cost you how much?
It's $2,500.
Now, is this a mail-order bride thing or a dating thing? What is it?
Well, what it is while I was in Cuba, I had found this agency, and now they are very, very popular with Germany and France. A lot of Germans and French go to Cuba. And it was something that they had set up a couple of years prior to this. They'd set it up and had done quite well. Now, I don't know if it's being advertised to Canadians, because I didn't know about it, but it was told to me through someone I knew there. And absolutely the best thing I ever did. And I've been married now for almost 2 years.
So you paid the $2,500, and how do they let her out of the country right away? I mean, it can't be easy to get out of Cuba.
No, what happens? That took 6 months to get her out of the country, and then the hardest part wasn't getting her out, but was getting her into my country. And having a visa for her to come was, a very difficult thing. Now, I live in Los Angeles as well, so that's a whole other issue, trying to bring her down here. She will become a Canadian citizen. It'll take another year and a half. And at that point, because I have a green card, I will be able to bring her here. She will not be able to work, but I can bring her here. And
as your girlfriend?
No, she's my wife.
She's now your wife?
Oh, yeah, she's my wife.
So you married her, but did you have any relationship or anything?
You know what? I went through the agency, went through 3 different ladies, met with them, and the third one was the one.
But, I mean, did you date her, or you just did an interview and that was it? You got married based on an interview?
No. They had basically like a dating service here where they have videos, and they would tell you, they would basically tell you what their interests are and things like that. The most important things for me is that someone who spoke very, very good English. And the great thing about Cuba, although there are no jobs there for people, it is mandatory that all of Cubans go to university. So they're all very, very educated. She actually speaks 3 languages, and she has...
Well, I still haven't heard about, like, a relationship, like dating, drinks, banging away. All I'm hearing is that you paid $2,500 and it took 6 months to get her out, and you looked at a video and you went to an interview. But was there any relationship here? And I'm not saying there should or shouldn't. I'm just asking if there was.
You know what? I guess it was a roll of the dice because, I mean, she's very, 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 very beautiful. But as far as having any prior...
So you married her on the come. You had no idea what you were getting. You just had an interview and you saw a videotape and then you married her.
No, then we met. We did meet. And then it was probably a week after I came back from that trip, I had decided that I was going to pull the trigger and do it. And I went back there a month later and got married.
And had you slept with her at that point?
Yeah.
You had?
Yes.
Wow. But it was not much of a relationship beforehand. It was...
You know what? Not really. I mean, as far as like a courtship, no. No, it's nothing like that at all. It really was a roll of the dice. But, you know, in this video, it's not like it's a 5-minute video. It's a 45-minute video. You got to see what, you know, her personality was like. She was a very, very sweet lady, and still is. And I hope to keep her that way. She, unfortunately, though, now that she's in Canada, and there is a Cuban community there, and she's met some Cuban friends, and they're kind of corrupting her into what it's all about. But she's really devoted to me. She's very grateful that I brought her there. I've given her a second life, so to speak. And
the reason you went to this extent again is what?
I was married once before.
Right.
Real bitter divorce, bad time. And it seemed that every other relationship, women that I was dating, they wanted marriage. They wanted cars, they wanted houses, travel. It was very, very materialistic. They're forgetting what...
So you wanted to go to a country where women are so poor that they're just happy you talk to them.
Tickled pink. You know, tickled pink just to spend time with you.
How long have you been married now?
I'm sorry?
How long have you been married?
Almost 2 years.
Have you ever lived in the same place?
No. We live in the same place. On my business, I go back and forth between Los Angeles.
So you live in Canada and LA?
Yeah.
And she's living in your place in Canada?
She's taking care of the house right now.
Uh-huh. And do you know her? I'm just asking questions. I don't know anything. I'm not presuming to know anything. Do you know her well enough to know whether she's being faithful to you in Canada, and do you care?
Well, of course I care. I mean, I've fallen in love with her. Why would, if I didn't trust her, she wouldn't be there. And it was just something that, yeah, you know, it had to be... Well,
I'm saying this because, trust is usually based on a relationship that goes on for a period of time.
Yeah.
You get to know someone. You didn't have that opportunity.
No, and that's...
So what is this trust based on?
Well, I mean, now that we've got a 2-year history now. So, you know, in those 2 years, she's never done anything to cause me to think that she would ever betray me any way, shape, or form. So, I mean, it's just, it is, as you go, that trust is being built. So it is not at all like a traditional relationship or courtship. You jump right into the fire, and basically, you've made that commitment, and you build it from there.
Wow. And how long will it be before, what is your attorney's estimate as to how long it will be before you can freely move back and forth together and live together all the time?
Well, she will become a Canadian citizen. The whole process takes 3 years. After she becomes a Canadian citizen, she will be able to travel with me into the U.S. I have a green card, so she'll be able to travel with me. At some point, I will file for my U.S. passport to become a U.S. citizen, in which I will do the same for her.
Wow.
So I think that process, I'm not sure how long it's going to take, well, once it comes to this side of the border.
You're at least a year away, though, from being able to travel with her.
Oh, absolutely. It's probably 5, I would say more like 2.
Wow.
But it's not a bad thing. And many people have asked me about it. I've actually... talk quite freely about it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. It's been a great experience.
And you were fed up with American women?
North American women, absolutely. Gold diggers.
Amazing. Bob, thank you.
My pleasure, Tom.
Appreciate the call. Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm a Canadian girl, and I was listening to what this guy had to say and what you had to say about women who come from different countries here or whose parents are first generation. And I agree with you. I think that, my parents were German, and they immigrated to Canada, and then I came down to the States. But I was brought up with a whole different mentality about, getting a good education, getting a good job, and being a contributing partner in a relationship. And most of the American women I see here are just what I hear from you guys on the radio. They are definitely gold diggers, and it's really, really a shame. And I can see why so many men just feel like they're at their wits' end. And I'm not sticking up for women or trying to stick up for men either. I think it's just an obvious situation in this country, and I'm not sure where it comes from. I mean, I don't understand the logic behind sending women to college if most of them are just going to be looking for these men to take care of them.
I've asked that same question many times, Chris. From Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. How badly do you want to get away from American women? Have you flown to other countries? Gotten a mail-order bride? Gotten on the internet? Gone to ethnic or racial parts of town where women from other countries hang out? It's Kristen on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm a gold digger.
Uh-huh.
It's okay to be a gold digger. Why would you be with a poor man when you can be with a man who will give you everything you need?
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of suckers out there, dear.
All we need is money and sex.
You don't even need sex.
I need sex.
But sometimes you may have to give up sex to get money. For example...
I give up sex.
I mean, forego it. That's what I'm saying.
Forego sex for money?
Yeah, like let's say you're gold digging a 65-year-old guy.
Yeah?
You might have to do without.
Well, if you can find a guy that's going to give you sex and give you money because your sex is so good, then why would you be with a man who has no money? I don't want a man with no money.
Uh-huh.
I'm not supporting a man.
But see, again, that's why I think there are men, like the ones you're hearing calling in, who are looking to other countries. Women aren't so much like you.
Let me ask him a question. Is the sex good, though?
Let me tell you something. My experience with women from other countries, the sex is spectacular.
All right, well, we got it, too.
Women from other countries have many less hang-ups than American women. There's no doubt about it.
I'm a beautiful woman, and I deserve a man who's not going to make me support, you know.
Well, dear, the world will decide whether you deserve that or don't deserve that. You won't decide that. Oh, there you go. But, again, you know, I know there are plenty of suckers for gold diggers like yourself. I wouldn't pay 10 cents to get a woman into my life, and I don't really care. But for me, I gave up on American women because so many of them are like you.
Yeah?
And the last thing I'm going to do is pay for the privilege of being with some woman.
Yeah, but you're right. There's suckers out there.
No doubt, and you will take advantage of them, but I would never be one of them, just so you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Just wanted to get a word in for the gold-digging contingent out there. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hi here to Ryan on the Tom Leykis Show.
How's it going, Tom?
All right, Ryan.
Yeah, I've been listening to you for about a year now.
Mm-hmm.
One of my buddies turned me on to you. I went through a really bad divorce.
Yes.
And you hit the nail on the head most of the time. And today I heard the topic, and I just had to call because I just flew out to Hermosillo, Mexico last week to meet a girl I met over the Internet. And it was one of the best times I ever had in my life.
Really?
She looked better than her picture. She had 4 gorgeous sisters, a couple great brothers, great family. They treated me like a king. One of the best trips of my life. And the sex is better than American women. And believe me, I've had my share.
So you specifically went searching for women from Mexico? Is that what you wanted?
You know, I didn't actually specifically search for her. She found me. I have a couple of sites up on the web. And I get maybe like 2 or 3 different girls that contact me a day. And she happened to contact me. And one of my buddies married a Mexican woman, and he's been married to her for like 18 years now. And real happy. And he's always telling me, he's a business partner of mine. He's always telling me, you got to get a Mexican woman. You got to get a Mexican woman. They'll treat you like a king. So she came up, you know, on an email. I've been talking to her for 3 months, every day. And I decided, heck with it, I'm going to go out there and see her. And it was the best move I made. And I'm going back next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, were you fed up with American women? Or
yeah.
You were?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fed up. Yeah.
What is it you're fed up with? Tell us.
Oh, I went through it. I went through a divorce, and everybody told me, don't do it, don't do it. She's a gold digger. She's a bitch. This and that. And I, you know, I loved her. I was young. I was like a lot of your callers. And they're going to do the same thing I did because she, you know, she looked good. Everybody wanted her, and she was my trophy. And the, you know, the young guys out there, I'm trying to forewarn you, you're going to make the same mistake I did. But for all you.
So now that you've had this kind of experience, would you actually go searching for women in other countries?
Yeah, I probably would have done it anyways, just to see what's out there. I like to travel anyways. But, you know, my circumstances has led me to it maybe a little earlier than I would have. And it just was a great experience. I mean, they treat you, I mean, I couldn't even get up to to put my dish away or anything. Or no, you sit there. And that's how they are. You know, you don't get that here. You know, the women here want to be a man. And they want to make as much as you, but yet they want you to act like a man, you know, and treat them like a man, and they get pissed, they get pissed off at you. So it's just it's a whole nother culture. And, you know, I don't know about the Cuban women like the other guy called in, and I probably wouldn't marry someone just from a tape, but, you know, I've been this girl for 3 months, and, you know, I wouldn't marry her for a while, but I'm just letting your audience know that it was one of the best experiences of my life.
Ryan, thank you for that. I appreciate the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I just want to say I love you in a heterosexual way.
Good. My ass is intact, then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Dan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Father.
Son?
How are you today?
Do you care?
Of course I care.
Doing great.
Thanks to you, I've got more tail in the past 2 years than I have in my entire life.
Look at that. I love it.
But anyway, my story is about a buddy of mine. He's a seaman for Sealand Container Corporation, and he goes to the Philippines all the time. Brought a woman back, and we were out there cutting the lawn one day and asked him if he wanted to go up to the tavern and shoot some pool.
Right.
And he said, yeah, I'm going to go catch a bath. And I thought that was kind of weird, but I said, okay, I'm going to go catch a shower.
Mm-hmm.
And so I waited about 15 minutes, and then I went over and knocked on his door, and he's sitting on his couch in a towel. His wife answered the door.
Mm-hmm.
And she was cutting his toenails and doing his fingernails. And then I said, come on, get dressed, let's go. He said, no, she gets mad at me if she can't shave me. And when we got to the tavern, I said, she even bathes him, cuts his hair, trims his toenails, trims his fingernails, everything. Waits on him hand and foot.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I got to go to the Philippines.
Look at that. So are you fed up with American women? Was your buddy fed up? What's the deal?
Well, I don't think he was fed up. He like I said, he's on a container ship, and he goes to the Philippines all the time. So he goes all over the world. So
now you want to go there?
Oh yeah, I'm totally fed up with American women. I can't stand them. Just like all your other callers, they're just money grubbers. That's all they want.
Hang on a second here, Laura. What did you want to say to Dan?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Okay. What did you want to say?
Okay. I just spoke with the other person on the phone. I think that all of these men have had probably very, very, very bad experiences with American women, but I have to ask them this. Do they think if they bring a Cuban lady or a lady from the Philippines over to America that they're not going to turn in to your stereotypical American woman?
I agree. Not first generation, they won't. They're just like Latino women.
No.
Latino women from
when you show them a Mercedes and all the other pretty American women that you probably couldn't get, they're going to want one. And then they're going to be like, oh, honey, can you buy me a Mercedes and $500 Gucci bags and Manolo Blahnik shoes? You don't think that they're going to ask you that?
I don't know where you're from, but if you're from the Southeast, like Arizona, first generation people from Mexico, they're nothing like that. It's only the second and third generation.
People change. That's what I'm trying to make my point. People will change. The second you bring one of those women to America, they will see what everyone else has. Why do you think they come here? They don't have anything here. Why do you think they want to get out of Russia, Cuba?
Because when they get here, they're grateful, and they don't get Americanized that quick.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. And it's best to get a woman that away from women like you.
You can just say whatever you want to them. Okay, honey, I rub your feet. I make you dinner. Do whatever you ask them to do.
Exactly. If I go to work every day and bust my ass,
them to understand you if they don't speak English.
You learn to speak their language.
Oh, you learn to speak their language. How long do you think that's going to take? You think it's
learn to speak their language.
Oh, you learn to speak their language. How long do you think that's going to take? Do you think it's going to take as long as for them to become Americanized?
Oh, I know for a fact it takes them a long time to become Americanized and become the women that all they want is your money and they want to divorce you and take half your stuff. No, these women are grateful.
All American women are like this.
I agree.
Only the attractive ones.
Really, Tom?
Yes.
No, the ugly ones are really bad.
Well, the ugly ones, though, can't really expect to get any money out of guys, because who would pay to be with a fat chick?
Well,
Tom, you don't hate American women, do you?
I don't hate American women. I just have no interest in dating them or marrying them ever again.
The only American women
I know you've had such bad experiences with them, but...
No, it's not just that I've had bad experiences. I believe that American women have turned into something over the last 30 years that I don't find sexy.
I have to disagree with you, Tom.
They want money?
What's that, Laura?
Is it just because they want money?
No, it's not just because they want money. It's because they're bitches.
Well, you need to meet me, because I am so opposite of all of this. I may be from Malibu. I go to UCLA. I have a 3.8 GPA, and I am hot as all hell. and I'm just not like this. So,
well, on the phone, everybody's perfect, dear, but in real life, it's a whole other story.
Tom, you know what? I was at the Canyon Club the night you were there, and I tried to come in, but I didn't turn. I wasn't quite 21 yet, so I couldn't get in. But the next time you're there, I will be first in line to see you, and you can tell me.
All right, that's what I'll have to do.
I have to disagree with you on American women, Tom.
Well, how so?
I think black American women are very good.
Good at what?
They're very good. They treat you well. They treat you very well.
They
have an attitude.
What about all the rappers' wives? The ones that are driving Escalades with 24-inch rims and have diamonds the size of your head on. What about those ones?
I wouldn't have anything to do with them. I'm talking about a rural black girl.
African American women are okay in America. So you just don't like rich white girls, basically.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't. I really don't like any white girls.
You don't like any white girls?
No, I don't.
Okay.
The only American women I really like are black women.
Okay, then all power to you. But I don't agree with you for the...
Black women know how to treat a man.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about mail-order brides, honey. From well,
not just mail-order brides, but just women from other countries. I mean, you don't have to get it by mail order. You could travel to other countries and meet people.
No, I understand. I just don't think... I think that people are short-sighted on American women just because they do... Some of them are very... They
mostly have an attitude. They tend to be bitches, and they tend to make all kinds of demands. They want us to pay for the majority of everything, but they still don't want to do the things that old-fashioned women did in the past, like cook a hot meal or fold a shirt.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I just don't. I don't know why people think that women from other countries are not going to be like this.
If you're all for that,
the first 5 minutes they're here.
No, believe me, it takes a lot longer than that, dear. Tom
Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I can't believe that men are so concentrated on women to parents. I mean, come on.
Are you just finding this out now?
No, but to hear it on your show is like appalling.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Sheila on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom.
Sheila.
How you doing?
Do you care, darling?
I do. Actually, you're the first person I've ever called in my entire life on the radio show.
Wow.
So hopefully I won't be too nervous to get my point across.
You're not kidding.
I just wanted to respond to what the lady that just called a few minutes ago said. The only confusion I have in terms of what you guys are saying about American women being materialistic and whatever is, you know, in the same hand, you want American women to be hot, you know, and you want women to take care of themselves. And let me tell you, part of taking care of yourselves, the reality is, as we age, you need to go to the gym, you need to do some cosmetic procedures. There's things you have to do, and those things...
Dear, we don't want you when you're aging. That's the whole point. These guys are going to Mexico to get 21-year-olds.
But I mean...
When you're aging, you're somebody else's maintenance issue.
But, you know, our society puts a lot of emphasis on beauty in women, as we know.
That's right.
That's how women are defined. I mean...
That's how men define you, because you expect us to pay for things, and therefore we expect to get value for money spent.
I do think, by the way, that women can't have it all in terms of, you know, if you stay at home and you're raising your kids, there's certain things you should be doing for your husband, especially if he does work all day and whatever. But I have to tell you, I mean, your demographic aside, I mean, I understand that you're targeting a certain audience, but surely you don't believe every woman in America, once she hits 30, is of no worth, is of no value.
They're not being no worth, but the point is, look, let's face facts. We're talking to guys who are up to age 40, and therefore they want to date women who are like up to age, maybe, I don't know, 32.
And frankly, I think women, American women, I think in general we need to look as good as we can as we age. I think we need to keep our weight down. We need to look great. But we have to...
But American women generally don't. That's the point. American women get chunky, chop their hair off, dress for convenience, wear sweatpants. You walk around a supermarket and you look at what American women look like. It's disgusting.
I know.
So why would we want to make a long-term commitment to that?
I don't know. I just know in my own case, I've been married about 15 years, and, you know, I have no idea how you would rate me. I mean, I live in L.A., and I feel like everyone looks good that I'm around. I mean, I feel like everyone looks great in this state, and I just want to look good for me. I mean, I just want to do it for me and for my husband, but just for myself, you know. I just don't want to be like that. But I also believe, too, that I'm not going to be 20 anymore, and I'm going to pass the torch and let those girls be whatever, and that's just how it is, you know. And hopefully I'll move on and make other contributions and have, you know, other kinds of things to offer.
Well, again, my boys are dating.
I know.
And they want them young and hot. And for the least amount of cost. And just the way Major League Baseball goes to the Dominican Republic to find shortstops. You know, maybe American guys have to go to other countries to find hotter, younger, cheaper chicks.
Well, you know what? I just can't believe it might be that way in L.A. because it's definitely more material.
Oh, it's not just L.A. It's everywhere in America, baby.
The Tom Leykis Show.